Welcome to Helping Hand Halfway House. My name is Richard Callell, the Executive Director. I am glad that you choose to visit us. Come, follow me, let me show you around. What is happening? The Helping Hand was set up by Brother Robert Yeo in 1987. As an ex-addict himself, he felt that there was a great need in helping people with addiction problem and giving them the right service for reintegration to society. Robert believed that, without the availability of a conducive environment, those with poor social support will continue to be stuck in the vicious cycle of addiction. Through Christian philosophy, we seek to transform lives of ex-offenders restored as hard-working individuals, reintegrating them back into society as stable and contributing citizens. If possible, we would want to ensure that they become to be part of a local church in the community. The site of the halfway house is provided by SWK and funded by our government. However, the tenancy period is on 3-year renewal basis. Having our resident working in our mover services and furniture making business, it helps to generate 60% of the total funding needed for our operations and expenses incurred for housing our residents. 30% of the fundings comes from the prison and the government, from their PDP programs. 10% comes from public donations. We can house up to 70 residents, including 40 to 50 of our stay-in staffs, who are mainly ex-drug offenders with no accommodation of their own. Our residents are mainly male Chinese and Indians ex-drugs offender, with ages ranging from 30 and 60 years old. We seldom accept younger males, because they are more suited to other halfway houses, like the Teen Challenge and Hiding Place, as the residents there are much younger. Usually, 80% of our residents are referred from the prison, and 20% are walk-ins, hospital, and referrals from other sources. The walk-ins must meet the 2 entry requirements we have set. Firstly, he must not be a wanted person by the law. We will screen him through the help of CNB. Secondly, he must not have active drug addiction issues, as we do not have facilities to treat the person. Normally, we will refer such case to the hospitals for detox treatment. Cases from the prison are mandated to serve their 3-month stay-in program, and, for the next 3 months, they are given the choice to continue with our in-house program, or work in the community. They can also opt out from both choices. Walk-ins are required to stay in during their first 2 months. When they are stabilized, and weaned off from their drug addictions, they are allowed to go on home leave. Moreover, they are required to comply with our spiritual therapy program, and we will provide them with the necessary vocational training. Our main focus is the spiritual aspect, because we truly believe that only God can provide the change needed to maintain, as well as sustain the change. I believe the key differences is flexibility on our rules here. For example, our residents referred from prison are allowed home leave after their 1-month stay with us. For walk-ins, it will be applicable after 2 months. We also allow the use of mobile phones, as our resident may want to keep in touch with their families and friends. You may ask, wouldn't the residents use their mobile calls to source for drugs and contact their bad company? We believe that keeping in touch with their families and society is the key to prevent family rejection, and to foster effective community reintegration. When Helping Hand Halfway House was first incepted, It provided a one-year residential program for ex-addicts who had problem coming out from their addiction cycle. For the first 6 months, we provided supervised residential program, and the members are not allowed to leave the premises during the time period. After their 6 months of stay, they are allowed 1 day home leave per week. However, they are encouraged to attend church services before their home leave. In 2006, we started taking cases from Singapore Prison Services to help ex-drug offenders who are just released from the prison. This streamlining is done to fit the new halfway house service model developed by the prison. It is mandatory for all our residents, whether they are prison referral or walk-ins, to attend the 6 months Preventive Development Program, which is also known as PDP. For the first 3 months of stay, our residents are required to attend all the PDP modules designed by the prison. Under the PDP, the prison's referrals is allowed to choose on whether they want to opt out from our spiritual therapy program, unlike our walk-ins. After their 3rd month, they are allowed to choose whether they wish to continue to work at our halfway house, or jobs arranged by SCORE, in the community. At the Helping Hand Halfway House, we conduct 4 core programs, in aim to help our residents work towards their journey in maintaining a drug-free future. They are physical therapy, social therapy, spiritual therapy and vocational therapy. When a resident was on drug, staying healthy is inevitably the last consideration for them. We believe that our physical therapy not only foster a healthy lifestyle for our residents, but developing a healthy mindset. We have a gym which our resident could use to stay fit and productive. Due to their past addiction problems, our residents tend to be antisocial and lack skills on keeping in touch with the society. Our social therapy not only provide our residents a chance to learn new social interaction skills, but also developing new positive activities to help them stay away from relapsing to their addiction problems. We feel that our spiritual therapy plays the most important role in our rehabilitation program. Our residents are introduced to teachings of the Bible, and attending activities by the church and some of our partnered Christian organizations. Our vocational therapy helps our resident to develop essential work ethics and other qualities such as punctuality, honesty and responsibility at work. Through providing in-house or jobs in the community, our resident will gain more confidence in meeting the work demands they may face in future, when they are reintegrated. I must say, there is definitely some impact on our program, since it has shortened to 6 months from the previous length of 1 year. Due to the Singapore prison's requirements, the 6 months PDP program is set to ensure that there are enough vacancy for more of their future referrals. If we can reintegrate our residents in a shorter time frame, our residents might not be ready to reintegrate back into the community. 6 months may be too short for them to be discharged from the program. They may be prone to relapse. In order to close this gap, we have come up with a 6 to 18 months extended program to allow them continue stay in our halfway house and attend our program. I feel that 2 years is the ideal length of rehab to ensure that our residents will not relapse into their addiction habit, or, if they do, it will not be instantly after they have been discharged from our rehab program. Accommodation is a big issue if our residents are discharged from our side, especially for those who has no family support. After their rehab program, their length of stay is limited, if they are not a staff. Thus, sometimes, they will need to apply for a HDB rental unit with another resident. However, given the situation where 2 residents are staying together, the relapse of one to his drug habits may inevitably lead to the other one having a relapse too. This is one of the problems we are currently facing. Therefore, for mandatory cases, we will do a 3-month follow-up after they're discharged, or even link them up with the church community. However, due to our limited manpower, we have only managed to follow up with most our discharged residents through phone calls, instead of conducting home visits. We can only acknowledge the limitation that our programs can only alleviate the symptoms, but we are unable to look into the deeper issues that they are facing. As our resources are limited, we only have one social worker and a few other counselors. Therefore, we are unable to provide a much extensive programs catering to the needs of our residents. Some programs are even outsourced to other organizations to run the therapeutic components under the PDP as mandated. I have two concerns. The dilution of spiritual aspect in the programs, as we takes more cases from prison, and, secondly, the uncertainty of the tenancy of our location. The Helping Hand first started based on the Christian teachings, and our operating philosophy is based strongly on the spiritual component. Opting out from the spiritual therapy under the Preventive Development Program may not be in line to our purpose in setting up our halfway house. However, this is unavoidable, because we need funding from prison to sustain our halfway house. Though we are quite confident that our tenancy will be renewed, there is still worries over when does the government wants us to move. The change of location may affect our wood and furniture business, which is our main source of income and program to run our place. Well, we just have to leave it to God. Thank you for visiting again. This is all we have for you. Hope it has been helpful.